Yes, Hamid Troops, and welcome back to the With Mates podcast, and welcome back to the Catch Up, your weekly episodic show where we talk all things movies and TV and have a wee chinwag, a wee chit chat with our mates. Joining me this week, he is the Triple Barrel Man. He is Craig Andrew Mooney.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And he is the smackiest of smacks. He will smack your bitch up. It's Polly Smack Post. Did it?
My chin is wagging, and when it's wagging, it's dragging, and it's scrubbing the floor right now.
What?
I don't know what
kind
that
of made
means.
sense. It made sense. It made
In
sense.
your head. It
What,
made sense in your head.
Dragging your chin across the floor.
Because it's open. Because I'm wagging it. So it's
Okay,
and
cool. Whatever floats your boat, mate. Whatever keeps you going. Excuse me, I am under the weather, and it is early in the morning after a gig late last night. But we're here for the catch up once again. So as I say, we're going to talk all things movies, all the kind of movie news, all the TV news. And at the end of this week's episode, we're going to give you a roundup of all the movies we have seen this month, give you a quick non-spoiler review, and give our recommendations for what we think you should be spending your money on if you decide to go to the cinema to see whatever film that you fancy doing, because it's quite spenny unless you get a Cineworld card. Cineworld sponsor us, because we've all got Cineworld cards and we want them for free, if I'm being honest. How are we, lads? Have we had a good week?
Well, not all of us just quite yet have an unlimited card. But
Letting the side down, Paul.
But
He's not letting it. He's not letting the side down. He's letting himself down because he's wasting so much money, man. Like
Like yesterday, for example.
Well, that's what I was
Yesterday,
going to say. How many films did you see yesterday?
2.
We saw 2. We were going to see 3, but we didn't quite
And
get
how
to
much
the third
is how much is a ticket?
one. That would have been like 10, 12 quid each.
$10.99. Yeah.
Fuck's sake,
That's literally the price of a Cineworld card.
Well,
You see as many as you want, as many times as you
Yeah.
want. This is again a bit of free advertising for Cineworld here. You can also get
Exactly.
Odeon,
maybe,
but Odeon's not as good as Cineworld.
maybe I like paying for each film. Maybe I like
You-
contributing.
I was going to say, you're
directly.
keeping the cinema alive, mate. You're keeping that
Yeah,
cinema
just you.
alive with your money. Me and my popcorn is what keeps the cinema alive. So, where do we want to start, lads? We want to talk about film news? You want to talk about TV news? What are we thinking?
Oh, kick
Is
it
there a lot
off
of
the
TV
TV.
news? Yeah,
There's
give us
a
some TV
bits
news.
and bobs. We headlines from TV this week. So the main thing I think that was interested me was the announcement that Netflix is doing a live-action Scooby Doo series, which I thought was very interesting, and I'm kind of wondering to see what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get a kind of Rowan Atkinson stoating about on Monster Island kind of vibe, or is it going to be kind of darker, grittier? Is it going to be like the Velma animated thing? What do you think we're going to get?
I
I don't know,
hope.
man. Like, in fact, Paul, you go. You probably have a better answer than me.
I hope that it's nothing like Velma. I've seen clips of that. And I'm like, what is this? This isn't Scooby Doo. But I do hope that the original intention of the Scooby Doo, is it Josh Whedon that done those live action Scooby Doo movies anyway. The original intention of those was to make an adult Scooby Doo, and
Right.
then the studio were like, nah, it's Scooby Doo, we want to get the kids in and make it a bit more kid friendly. So they still have a lot of adult jokes in those movies if you go back and watch them.
Yeah.
It's particularly the first one, it's kind of mental. But those were apparently a lot more risque originally until they sort of PG'd it up. So I'm hoping for Netflix, they might go, well, okay, all of those kids have probably all grown up now, so yeah, let's make it a bit more adult. That's my hope. A more Scooby Doo feeling adult show.
Is Scooby Doo still a thing?
Yeah, the
Like, is there
animated
still
stuff still does
cartoons
quite well.
and stuff?
The animated movies, I think, still come out now and again. I was a big fan of Scooby Doo when I was a kid. I loved
I mean, so
Scooby-Doo.
was I. I used to watch it when I was away, and obviously when the Matthew Lillard live action Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was Velma again?
Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei was Velma.
No,
Spider-Man's
it was, no, it wasn't. It was Linda Cardellini,
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Hawkeye's wife. There's
That's
always an
it.
MCU reference. There's always an
I knew it was
MCU
an
reference.
MCU. I knew it was MCU
Yeah.
related.
So yeah, I remember watching those films. They were decent. They were fine. I don't know. I just don't have an interest in it. And again, Netflix is really in a weird spot with me. The new. I don't think they're doing great stuff. To be honest.
I know
Adolescence.
Movie wise and stuff, man. Say again?
Adolescence. Literally just came out.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. They have like the odd hit that does really
Yeah.
well, and then the rest of it's kind of padded out by other stuff.
And
this
Stranger
is the
Things
thing as well
season 4, you know, I mean, that was terrific.
Who cares about Stranger? I'm so. See, by the time the last series comes out, I'm just like, I want it to be finished, man. There's no part of me. And again, come at me in the comments if you're a big Stranger Things fan.
Yeah.
That last season didn't do it for me. And
In the comments, I'll come for you right now. fact,
are you a big Stranger Things fan?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love season 1. Season 1's terrific. Season 2's good too. Season 3, I don't mind, but I agree it's the weakest. Does change tone quite a bit. Season 4 changed it right up. It's back to like proper horror. I mean, like season 1 was
season
horror.
4 was
season 4 was
season
horror.
4 was ass.
Season 4 was horror, and it was great.
It was horror ass.
The Vecna stuff I liked. I quite liked it. But
the only thing the thing I really liked in that series was and again, spoilers, but it's not really spoilers, but like the ending of that scene, or the ending of the series, between two of the younger characters, was some of the best acting. And then they ruined it by then. In fact, big spoilers, right? If you've not seen season 4 Stranger Things, fast forward like 30 seconds. When they kill the ginger girl, and the young black actor, I can't remember his name. But he was absolutely phenomenal, really good acting in it and stuff like that. Probably the best acting in the entire series. Caleb McLaughlin. And then they don't kill her, and I'm like, what the fuck is the point in that? All that good work and it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I'm just kind of at the point now where I'm just like,
whoa.
There's also a bit of an oversaturation of Millie Bobby Brown.
You had a problem with somebody dying and then coming back to life.
I did, mate.
You had a problem with it.
It wasn't even the it wasn't, and again, I've said 30 seconds, so we need to kind of get off this point. But yeah, it was. I wasn't too fussed, man. And again, as I say, like, especially on Netflix, like Netflix, Millie Bobby Brown is their MVP. She's in so much stuff because what she's got. Is it Elena Holmes? She does Stranger Things. She was in Electric State. Yeah, I don't know. Scooby Doo doesn't really. Sorry.
Damsel. That thing that flopped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, Scooby Doo, I'll see if it gets good reviews.
I'll give it a go.
I'm not too.
We should do a Scooby Doo casting. Do a Scooby Doo casting.
I'd still cast Matthew Lillard. I think Matthew Lillard was made to be Shaggy.
Speaking of Matthew Lillard as well, isn't it cool? He's going to be in Daredevil season 2. I'm excited about that. I wonder who he's going to play.
That's awesome.
I wonder who's going to play. I'm very intrigued.
Definitely,
he's getting a bit of a renaissance. Yeah, he's getting a bit of a renaissance though, because he's obviously he was in Five Nights at Freddy's. He's coming back for the new Scream movie. And now he's obviously going to be in Daredevil. That's awesome.
Coming back for Scream actually is a really cool one. Either of you seen Scream 1?
Yes, of course I have.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah,
good,
seen the first one. Yeah.
Good.
I've seen. I think I've seen most of them.
Good. Because obviously he's like one of the original killers. So it's cool. And he was always thought to like be dead, but then you never actually got a car. He just has a telly dropped on his face. So you kind of assumed like, all right, he's dead.
Yeah.
And it kind of twitches when the telly like goes bzzz, but maybe I guess not. So I'm looking forward to.
Did he not get stabbed as well?
He gets stabbed, a couple of times.
That first one was brilliant. Right, what else is happening in the TV world?
So other big news, of course, which I think was maybe one of probably the most obvious bits of casting that's happened so far in the Harry Potter thing, is that Nick Frost is pretty much guaranteed odds-on favourite to now be Hagrid, which I think is, casting. Let's face it, yeah, who else are you going to cast? It is good
really
casting.
Good casting. That's probably the best I've heard for this new Harry Potter series.
I'm not entirely sure I like that.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of him going like, So, but what if I want to throw my gun up there and say "R"? Like,
Yeah, but he's not going to be the same guy from.
He's going to do a Yorkshire accent. He's going to do a Yorkshire
Jeez.
accent. And
Said that.
the only other thing I give my TV highlight of the week, if I'm going to
Go on.
quote Harry Hill here. So The Studio. I started watching The Studio on Apple TV Plus.
For American listeners, Harry Hill is an awful comedian in the UK.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to rename that segment.
Ruins You've Been Framed. Try to enjoy these bloody stupid videos, and he's getting
Stars in Their Eyes as well. He ruined Stars in Their Eyes as well.
Yeah.
Oh mate, it was awful. It was fucking awful.
Right, but yeah, recommendation.
Oh, The Studio, guys. Both of you should be watching it. Joseph should be watching it too. Anyone in the industry should be watching it. It's fantastic. Essentially, Seth Rogen plays executive in like a kind of, it's called Continental, so it's kind of like your kind of big Universal style, production companies, distributors, all these kind of things. He gets promoted to the CEO position, and essentially it's his like the dichotomy between him having to make money for the company but also wanting to make good films, and how that kind of always kind of goes against each other. It reminds me actually of the kind of old HBO kind of style shows. Like I mean, Entourage now is very dated. Entourage now is a very dated show, but it has that kind of like fast-paced, kind of like jazzy kind of style to it. And it's very well done. It's very well shot, very well made. The production values are insane, hence why Apple's losing $1 billion a year, I think. And also the cameos. Martin Scorsese's in the first episode. It shows Charlize Theron. Like it's very high scale, and yeah, it's very entertaining, very very funny.
Is that a comedy?
And
Is it what is?
Yeah.
What's the, it's comedy.
So
Okay.
it's like your classic show where there's a premise for the episode, and everything goes to shit. Everything goes wrong, and it's about kind of clearing up the mess. It's a very stressful kind of comedy kind of watch. It's very good though. I'd highly recommend it to anyone in the industry and beyond.
I don't have Apple TV, so I can't watch it. But if I get the chance to, if I get another free trial or something, I'll give it a go. Right, let's move on to movie news, because the movie news obviously is going to be dominated with the Doomsday cast being announced. So we'll leave that till last. So some of the highlights that have happened. Have you watched the Paul Thomas Anderson Leonardo DiCaprio movie trailer?
No.
Oh, you guys are slacking. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. That is definitely going to be one that will be up for grabs when we do part 2 of the movie draft. So it's called One Battle After Another. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. It is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunites to rescue one of their own daughters. So we've kind of discussed that we don't think that A24 is like a guarantee. This kind of feels like peak A24. It seems so bizarre. DiCaprio is obviously having an absolute ball of a time.
Are we sure
you've got Benicio del Toro in it, Sean Penn in it.
I'm just watching it right now. It says Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is A24. I'm saying it feels like a peak A24 kind of film. It's got that kind of like aura of it. That's the kind of, well, that's what it feels like to me, kind of thing. Because it's like, it's a bizarre, like it's one of these. There's a point in the trailer where there's a woman who is like heavily pregnant with an enormous fucking machine gun just shooting down a range and all that stuff, and I'm just like, that's so bizarre. It's about like this revolution, and it seems really. It seems bizarre, but it seems really interesting, like a dark comedy kind of thing. So I'm definitely interested in going to see it. I think it comes out in September. It looks interesting.
Yeah. Do you know over that for the movie draft then?
Do you know what's interesting actually? As I'm watching this, I've got it open on YouTube, but when I look down on the first film, like the first video it recommends to me, is F1. Isn't that an interesting film? An interesting film, Craig Andrew, isn't it?
I was saying this to Paul yesterday, Andrew, when we were watching the films. I'm not as confident on that as I was. I think, as you said at the time, Andrew, there was other things that would have been a better Joker pick. Yeah. Did anyone pick Lilo and Stitch? Nope. I think that's going to do amazing as well. Because we saw the trailer.
I'm not interested in Lilo and Stitch, but I am interested in Lilo and Stitch now. Like, I've watched it and I'm going, that looks really good. So, I think that'll be good. But yeah, F1, not so sure. But one battle after another is definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on, especially for the second half of the movie draft. But definitely go see it because I don't know. I just it's DiCaprio. Like, I know people don't like some of his decisions in real life, but he's a phenomenal actor. And yeah, I think it looks really good. Other news: Amy Pascal is now she's the lead producer on the new James Bond movie. So I don't know if that's good news because Amy Pascal is renowned for being the head of Sony, who did all the Venom and.
It'll be a popular decision with you then.
No, I'm definitely not, mate. You've been and seen those films with me. I am not a big fan of the old Venom. What would you call it?
The Venomverse.
Alternate Spider. Yeah, the Venomverse. But yeah, I'll be interested to see when more news comes out about James Bond, about like obviously who they're casting and stuff like that. Have we said who you would want for James Bond?
I think at the moment my favourite runner would have been Henry Cavill. He's British. He's just fits the bill, you know.
Henry Cavill, baby.
But I don't know. I can tell you so much that I've heard the Bond franchise is thinking of making a Money Penny series, which I'm like, why?
Yeah.
IP,
Money,
baby.
IP. I'm the same.
Jack Bannon.
I would have Henry Cavill. I would have
Jack
Henry
Bannon.
Cavill as who's that?
I think I mentioned him before. So Jack Bannon he played Pennyworth.
So you did.
Yeah. I want them to go younger. I want them to go kind of. I don't want a Daniel Craig again, and I think Henry Cavill and Daniel Craig would be too similar in terms of age and style. Whereas like I kind of want a kind of more kind of scrappy looking kind of Sean Connery kind of back to that kind of vibe, as it were. And I think Jack Bannon would give us that, and also just a wee bit younger as well. We to kind of start again. That's why I would do, if it was me.
I wouldn't mind seeing Richard Madden as well. I'd take Richard Madden.
I don't think he's got the chops for it, personally. That's just my opinion on him.
Was it The Bodyguard on BBC was really good.
Yeah, that was.
I think he needs to be a wee bit more. He needs to be a wee bit more suave for James Bond, but I think he'd do okay.
James Norton.
Well,
James Norton.
What about Graham Norton?
Yeah, he'd do a great job.
Yep.
What's his name from Black Bag?
Fassbender.
Reggie. No.
Oh yeah.
Reggie Jean Page. I'd take
Yeah,
him.
from
I think
Bridgerton,
I think he'd be a great James Bond.
He'd be a good James Bond.
Right, we'll go through. Obviously, we want to get to because I've got some big old thoughts on the Doomsday cast. So another couple of quick movie things. Giancarlo Esposito has said he wants to play Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze, sorry, in the DCU.
He'd be great.
Which would be really good. And in terms of MCU rumours, so there's obviously been the rumour that Denzel Washington's going to be in Black Panther 3. Ryan Coogler's come out and said that fans won't have to wait long for Black Panther 3, so hopefully that means we'll get it in the next kind of 3 years, you would imagine. And apparently Viola Davis wants to join the MCU, but who doesn't want to join the MCU? Oh, and another one as well, like, just, I'm going to be mean because fuck it, why not? Finn Jones, that played Iron Fist in the Netflix series, says that he wants to return as Iron Fist in the MCU.
His exact words were, "Give me a fucking chance," and I was like, "Okay, cool."
A guy that's already played the character should not be saying, "Give me a fucking chance." The guy that sat in Airdrie, desperate to play Wolverine, should be saying, "Give me a fucking chance." Come on now, mate. I still think, because again, you've seen them talking to Jessica Jones as well, and she's intimated that she would come back and stuff. So I still think there's the odd chance that you might get them turning up in the Daredevil series, which would obviously mean that they are in the MCU. But the one thing I would say about these characters is, if they do come back, we're just about to have a multiverse ending, multiple people gonna die kind of thing. So I feel as if they do come back, it will be a quick death, if I'm being honest. Right, let's get to the big news. Let's get to the thing that we've all been looking forward to, and let's get discussing. Right, Marvel. They did something I feel as if is unprecedented, has never been done before. They did a 5.5-hour stream, which is ridiculous, announcing the entire cast of Avengers Doomsday. It has had over 275 million views which is nuts. And all it was the back of director's chairs. Is that what they are?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Like for 5.5 hours. No, like you could do a live stream, but let's just do the fucking pan. Let's just pan across the tape. I understand why, but like 5.5 hours, fuck off. Who's sitting there for 5.5 hours?
People did.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
People were streaming.
But
consider yourself lucky that we don't stream, mate. Because if we were streaming, I'd have been like, right, boys,
watching.
Strap
clear
in.
your calendars.
Oh, here comes another chair.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let's kind of start talking about the casting and stuff like that. So, obviously, they announced the entire cast. Try to get a photo up so that we can see everybody that was cast. Because I feel as if not only is it exciting to talk about who they have cast, but also there's a lot of people missing. Like a lot.
I think there's more to come.
Missing.
There's more to come.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that was it Robert Downey Jr. Tweeted out something like, "Oh, that is a strong bench" or something like that, and then the Marvel Studios official Twitter kind of, they tweeted out saying, "Oh, there's always room for more." So I think we will get maybe not another 5.5 hour stream, but we're definitely going to get more.
Wasn't that
more announcements, right? But we'll do.
Wasn't that a missed opportunity by them to tweet out, "I can do this all day"? Here's
Oh
another
yeah,
one.
no, that they
Here's
could have done
another
that. That'd have been good. Right, so I'll quickly run through who we got. So it finished with, of course, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. We got Chris Hemsworth returning as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Patrick Stewart back as Professor X, Ian McKellen as Magneto. That's first time back since I think 2017, which was Days of Future Past. Yep, Anthony Mackie, Captain America. We've got the Fantastic Four cast: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach. Bucky is back, Sebastian Stan. We need to talk about this as well. Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, Hannah John Kamen, who plays Ghost, David Harbour as Red Guardian, and Lewis Fillman, who plays Sentry. Essentially, the Thunderbolts have all but been confirmed, but I have my doubts about that, if I'm being honest. Letitia Wright returns as Black Panther. A big one that I pop for is Winston Duke is back as M'Baku. I fucking love M'Baku so much. I still stand by. He should have been the next Black Panther. I'm going to absolutely murder this name. Is it Tenoch Huerta? Your man that played Namor in
that was a shock.
Black Panther film.
That was
Really?
a shock for me. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, there was a bit of
Has he had some
controversy around him
and stuff?
Yes.
Right. Doesn't surprise. I don't know the controversy, but it doesn't surprise me as the character, because I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that happening. Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Danny Ramirez the Falcon,
Just seen a
Simu
name I'm quite
Liu
happy.
is back. Say again.
I've just seen a name I'm happy about as
Oh,
well.
the one I'm very happy about, Shang-Chi, Simu Liu is back. We should have had more of him. His movie is probably one of the better highlights of Phase 5 and 6. Alan Cumming, the artistic director of Pit Lockery, is back as Nightcrawler. Rebecca Romaine is who I'm assuming you're happy about. Paul?
Oh, I was happy about Rebecca Romaine, yes. I was also actually thinking I've seen Kelsey Grammer. He's coming back as Beast.
Beast. So we've got Mystique, Beast is back, James Marsden, Cyclops, and the one that the internet seemed the happiest about is Channing Tatum's Gambit is confirmed that he will be back as well. Even that music, that theme music, I was just like, fuck yes, man. Right, so we'll talk about the cast that have been announced. Is there any shocks in there that, other than obviously Craig, you said Namor? Is there anybody where you're like, I can't believe they've brought them back, or is there anybody that stands out that you're most excited about being in this?
Oh, Alan Cumming, 100%. Both surprised and also delighted. like for the Scottish connection, I was shocked they got him back. Because obviously
he had a horrible time on the set. He's done some interviews saying that he didn't really like was it Bryan Singer, the director, and all that stuff.
Well,
he was
obviously
not a fan of all that kind of stuff. So I'm surprised he came back. I love that they've brought back Rebecca Romaine. She's fantastic as Mystique. So again, it makes sense. If we're going by what we assume the plot's going to be. They introduced the idea of anchor beings in Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think they're going to be very important going into what the plot of Doomsday is going to be.
Who cares what they do in their private time? Oh, sorry, you said anchor. Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Okay,
anchor beings. No W included there.
Right.
But yeah, like to me, it makes sense if you're going to do one where you're bringing in all the multiverses. It makes sense. Bring back Professor X, Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, Professor X, and Ian McKellen as Magneto. James Marsden as Cyclops is really cool. I hope we get.
I want another go.
Well, I hope we get. Well, this is the thing. I've got a theory. Before we get into the theories of what's going to happen in the film, I just want to kind of talk about the casting. The other one that I want to talk about is they've kind of, but I think they're lying. I think they've kind of confirmed who's going to survive in Thunderbolts. So the only Thunderbolt actor that's not been asked or that's not been included is the girl that plays Taskmaster. I think they're lying. I think people are going to die in Thunderbolts, and they've just done that to kind of as like a false flag kind of thing.
Did you not see the thing about the trailer? Yeah. You know the thing about the trailer with Taskmaster? Did you see that?
What? That they're barely in it?
No, well, they on the TV spot for Thunderbolts, that scene of them in the tower is there again, but she's not there, and she was there in the original trailer. So I think there's a bit of duplicity going on with So I think you're right. I think she does die, but
Taskmaster's definitely dead. But I genuinely feel as if Ghost could die, Red Guardian could die. I genuinely think the only people that are coming out alive are Bucky, Yelena, and then potentially US Agent. Sentry will survive as well. But I think Ghost, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster have got a good chance of being killed off, and I feel as if that's a red herring. That they've announced them in this kind of cast as well. So let's talk about now. There is, as we said, there is always the potential of announcing more, and there's more likely that they will. Let's talk about some of the ones that they haven't. Right, so Doctor Strange isn't there. None of the Spider-Men are there, and people are summarising, and I don't know if you get our surmising. Sorry, that essentially the Spider-Man movie that's going to be in between Doomsday and Secret Wars is essentially going to be the second part of a trilogy, and that's why they've not been announced for Doomsday. So what happens in Doomsday will have a direct involvement in what's going to happen in the new Spider-Man movie, which will then lead on to Avengers Secret War, because the guy that's directing the new Spider-Man movie was originally helmed to do the Avengers movie, but they've moved him on to do Spider-Man. So it would make sense if they do it as like a trilogy. Do you think we're going to get, or is there any predictions for who else might get recalled?
Original,
like for instance,
original Fantastic Four.
Do you think they'll be in it?
Michael Chiklis. Oh yeah. Bring on the Chiklis. He'll.
I mean, we've already had one of the original Fantastic Four. They've already made a return.
Chris
Evans.
Well, yeah. I don't really need to see that again, but it was fine. But give me Chiklis.
How do you?
I want the Chiklis.
Do you think we'll get the other X-Men? Do you think we'll get the Fassbender and McAvoy?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
And Michael Caine again.
Marco
I know. Marco Caine.
Calm your mind.
Do you think we'll get McAvoy, their version of the X-Men?
No.
Possibly.
No.
Possibly.
I think
they have the money for it.
I think they're focusing on the original cast, as they should.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they should be doing. And also I think one Fassbender, I don't think would come back. I think he's busy off doing his own stuff now. He's had a career break. He's now back with Black Bag. I don't think he's going to do it. McAvoy as well, I think he would do it, but I think if you can't get one, don't get the other. And I think, as I say, you're going to focus on the Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen stuff. I also was interested that there was no Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds.
Yep, no Hugh Jackman. So we're going to play a wee fun game. I'm going to quick fire, and I just want yes, no answers, and then I'm going to give you my theory as to what I think Doomsday is going to be now, going forward with the casting announcements that we've had. Right. Yep. So, there's no Spider-Man. Do you think Spider-Man, any of the Spider-Men, any of the 3 Spider-Men will be in Doomsday?
Yes.
No.
Yes and no. I don't think they will be it. Do you think we'll get Hulk,
Yes.
Yes.
Hawkeye,
Yes.
Yes.
Nick Fury,
Yes.
Yes.
Rhodey?
Yes.
Yes, because they've not addressed that yet.
No, they have not. We'll go on to the X-Men. So Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
No, not this one.
I think we get Hugh Jackman in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Yes.
No.
Paul's just wanting them all. Famke Janssen, who plays Jean Grey.
Yes.
Yes.
Anna Paquin, Rogue.
Yes.
No.
Do we get any of the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, was Chris Pratt not there?
Nope.
Really?
As far as I'm aware.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's the interesting thing. That was the one that kind of stood out to me, especially because we got the leak, the concept art leak,
Yeah.
and he was there. But yeah, there was no Chris Pratt, there was no Rocket, there was no Groot, there was no Kraglin, Cosmo, Adam. There was what about Adam Warlock? Do you think we'll get him back?
No, not yet.
No.
He's too busy.
Yeah. Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I think end credit scene.
Nice. And what about Charlie Cox?
Yes.
Secret Wars. Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
He's
right. So do you think? Oh, in fact, one last one. Do you think we'll get any Eternals? Because we've had no Eternals.
My answer to that.
They fucked that off.
You think that's dumb?
Who cares? Yes. No. I mean, no. Who cares? Yes. No. I don't think we'll get them.
Right. Okay. Right. So here's my theory, and tell me if you. So they've introduced the idea of anchor beings. So anchor beings are essentially like the person who, if they die, the multiverse or their universe starts to kind of crumble within. So they kind of already spoke about that.
So what happens
Logan
when they
was one-
die of natural causes?
The universe starts to kind of crumble. It doesn't end instantaneously. I think it just starts to break down, and that's what these incursions.
So what
the
happened
thing that they
before they were
introduced-
born?
Their dad or whoever was. I don't know how it works. I've not really explained it. But the idea, again, I think this is just a clever way. So basically, what happened in the comics was, I can't remember the name of the guy. It was like Atom Man or something like that. Molecule Man. Thank you. Doom went round every multiverse and killed every Molecule Man to bring them to be able to create Battle World. So I think this movie, similarly to what Infinity War was Thanos' movie, where you watch Thanos go and collect all the stones, I think this is going to be the exact same thing with Doom, but Doom is killing all the anchor beings.
Yeah.
So not only then do you get that story with Molecule Man, but it's even more fun because it's going to be a variant of Professor X. It's going to be a variant of Magneto as his. Like, you're going to see him go and try and kill whatever the anchor being. So I think personally, James Marsden's Cyclops will be the anchor being for that X-Men universe, and you'll see Doom fight all the X-Men together. I don't think you'll see anybody interact. I think all these separate casts will be Robert Downey Jr. taking on the X-Men, and then it'll be Robert Downey Jr. taking on whoever else it is that he goes to fight. So it would then be like, who are your anchor beings and stuff like that. So the people I think that they're bringing back, so the X-Men obviously will be like one kind of say universe or whatever, and I think you'll see them taking on Doom. There's also a rumor though that people think we might get Avengers versus X-Men, but I don't think that's what they're going to do.
That is one of the comics.
Yeah, but I think you need to lead up to that, because we're about to get the mutant saga going forward.
I think I think you save that.
You build build that up and do that properly for the next kind of phase. To me, I feel as if this is. I think the movie's now going to be Doom hunting anchor beings. And I think Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man in Endgame was the anchor being for 616. And I think that's going to have a direct I think that's going to have a direct link to Doom realizing that that's what caused it. Somehow he'll find out. I don't know. But yeah, to me, I think that's what it's going to be. I think he's going to be hunting for anchor beings so that he can create Battle World.
So I think similarly to what you kind of, I think, so for the listeners, Andrew just sent a video in the chat of I think it was like a cartoon AI kind of style animation of Doom taking on Thanos, I think. So
An anchor being?
I think that could be a possibility. I think that could also you could also have Doom taking on someone else who of that kind of scale, and kind of working out that's how all this works, as you kind of said. There's like you could have. So what I think is going to happen is I think that that Doom is going to start by killing Kang, right? So that and that whole thing, that interaction is him learning about the multiverse and all this kind of thing, and then you've got him going then off and trying to kill all the anchor beings. Now,
So Jonathan Majors confirmed?
I think he is going to come back.
I think he's going to come back to be killed.
There's already kind of been talk that he's been speaking to Kevin Feige, and he was like, they're on good terms, basically saying, look, I know it's hard and you had to make the decision and stuff like that. Because I think he's been acquitted. I think it's been a thing where that he's I don't know, I've not really kind of looked at it, but yeah, it sounds, because again, all the noise that's coming out, like Michael B. Jordan says he wants to do Creed with him again. He's got a new bodybuilding film that's coming out as well, so it's not as if he's going away anywhere. But yeah, I think if he does come back, I think it's just to be killed off.
He's coming back to be killed off, and then essentially Doom's going to take over the kind of multiverse kind of thing where he maybe. So what I think is this is my prediction for the film. Doom has realized that universes are dying, and that eventually it's going to be a case of like a domino effect where incursion after incursion happens until all of reality is destroyed. So his solution is to get rid of the multiverse and make one single universe that he is in charge of. So that he's the god of. And that's his grand plan, but he has that kind of, in his head, a kind of moral aspect to it where he's like, I'm trying to save everyone here. This is how I can save as many people as possible. But actually, he's still a bad guy. He wants to control the whole place and be the god of it. So that's your kind of dichotomy between the two things. But my theory then is similar to what you said, Andrew, but I think there will be some kind of interaction. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to kick off with, for example, him going to the Fox universe, as it were, and potentially either or like a variation of that, and you kill someone like a Cyclops, or it could be like we see the dead body of Hugh Jackman at the start, and he's already killed the anchor being.
I think if you're bringing back James Marsden, you need to make him the anchor being. I think, especially with what they did with Cyclops in X-Men 97, the animated series.
Yeah, they did him dirty in the live action.
So in the live action they done him dirty, but in the animated series, he was so cool in that, and I feel as if you're bringing James Marsden back, make him the anchor being. We've had loads. I love Wolverine. I want to play Wolverine. Logan is a fantastic character, and Hugh Jackman has done great for 20 years. We've had give somebody else their time to shine. Let James Marsden be that guy.
I personally want, if James Marsden's there, I want an interaction with either Beast, Mystique, or Nightcrawler, and I want some kind of reference to a blue hedgehog. That's what I want.
I knew you were going to say
that's
Sonic.
what I want.
To say that.
They're blue.
This is what you
James
bring to
Marsden.
the MCU chat.
I know. He's blue. They're blue. He's James Marsden. There's a connection there. I want to see it. That's what I want.
The sad thing is that I feel as if that could be a thing. Yeah, to me, I'm just excited for what they're doing. I thought the live stream, again, I think it's really different. It's never been done before. They obviously condensed it into like a 1.5-minute video to show it like kind of like at a faster speed and stuff like that. But it got people talking is the main thing. And I feel as if obviously Captain America Brave New World didn't do well at the box office and didn't do well critically, they had to get the conversation away from that. They had to. And I think Thunderbolts is getting really good buzz. I'm hearing good things about it. I'm hearing even better things about Fantastic Four. That Fantastic Four is going to kind of definitely be this kind of catapult for the rest of the MCU going forward. I think the thing, I was discussing it with my dad, because my dad watches these films, and I was saying the way the movies are split up, in the first phase we got 5 films and then we got an Avengers movie. Or was it 4 films? No, we got 5. We got 2 Iron Man, a Hulk, Captain America and Thor, and then we got an Avengers film. Then there was like 4 films, and then we got Avengers Age of Ultron. Then there was 6 films, of which Civil War was in, which was essentially Avengers 2.5. And then we got Avengers Infinity War, 2 films, Avengers Endgame. Since then, there has been, I think I counted it out, 10 films, but by the time this year passes, there'll be 13 films between Avengers movies. But not only that, like, even that is too much. Like, to me, I'm going, you need to half that and have some sort of joining movie that is an Avengers film. But you've had about 10, I think it's about 10 to 12 series as well. So there is just this overload of content without any kind of like meeting point for all this stuff that's going on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's me not even including, there's like shorts in there as well. You've got like was it the Werewolf by Night, and there was a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. There's Groot shorts. Like, there's so much stuff that's just getting thrown at Disney that people have kind of, I get it, it's not for everybody, and there are some really bad series in there. Again, I will have the argument, and I will happily do it if we want to have a full catch up where I argue the fact that there's not been a bad. We need to get like, this is the thing, right? Joseph needs to be here for this, because Joseph's the worst for this, right? See this idea that if it's not a 10 out of 10, it makes it fucking bad. It's not bad. We have a scale here on the With Mates podcast. 5 is fine. And I don't think there's been an MCU movie that's less than a 5 out of 10.
I will take you to task there.
Go on. Give me one. We'll do one just now.
One, Eternals. That is not a 5. That is
right.
This
is the thing.
That is a strong 2 or a 3.
No. Right. So here we go. Right. This is my whole point, and this is what we're going to discuss, and this is how I want you guys to look at films. Right. What's bad about that film?
The casting, the effects, the plot, everything.
First of all, the cast is great.
Sorry.
Second of all, the effects.
No. The Angelina Jolie is great. The rest are there. And it's her
That's
world,
not true.
And we're
That's not true. The best part. That's not true. The best guy in that film is your man from Bullet Train. What's he called?
Brad Pitt.
No, Fastos. Brian Tyree Henry. Brian Tyree Henry is fantastic in that film. Loved his character. I thought Gemma Chan does a good job as Cersei. I liked Richard Madden. The MCU gave us the best Superman movie. They also gave us the best Flash movie.
We don't care about any of these characters. We have never seen or heard of these characters.
But this is the thing as well, though, is if you look at it from the sense of, we didn't know or care about any of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but now they're some of the most beloved characters.
And they made interesting choices with them.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They made interesting choices, but they took a big swing with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it worked. They took a big swing with the Eternals, and I get it. Look, I get the fact that it's very like hit or miss. People either really like it or people like absolutely hate it. I don't understand the hate. To me, I think it's entertaining. There's good characters within it, and it opened up this idea of a bigger world. Now, it just so happens that the MCU isn't going down that route anymore. But to me, I'd still be interested to see characters like Fastos, like Cersei. Like, there's characters that they introduced in that I like. Kamal Nanjiani's character as well was really fun. I think that the issue with that film in comparison to Guardians of the Galaxy is Guardians of the Galaxy had 5 characters that they introduced, one of which was a tree that just said, "I am Groot," so there's not really much, and again, ended up being beloved. There's more scope to be able to tell that story about 5 people, whereas the Eternals, there's like 10 characters, so they don't really get enough screen time to then, as you say, Paul, care about. But in terms of, I don't think there's bad in that film. I don't think it, like, again, so, what do you, right, the film we went to see, Madam Web, was awful, right? That's a bad film.
Terrible.
Right?
Terrible.
I don't think, I would rather watch Eternals than Madam Web or Morbius or Craven or Venom. No, you're so wrong. If you'd rather watch they films over... Craig, you've been scarily quiet here. Have you've seen Eternals?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Would you rather watch the Venom pish?
So here's my thing as well. I actually didn't mind Eternals as much as everyone.
It's a decent film. I don't...
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad.
But this is...
It's fine.
So this is my point, right?
I'm choking on all the shilling here. The shilling is making me...
There's no shelling. Fine is a valid criticism. See if somebody just goes, yeah, it's fine. But to tell me it's bad when we've had movies like Craven, where I don't know what you're talking about, Paul, the CG. The CG was fantastic in Eternals. Like, the CG looked great. Some of the fights with
it was just...
Icarus and what's her name, Makari, the speedster character. I think that's the best speedster fight that there's ever been on film. Fuck your slow-mo saving babies flash pish, right? That's how you do a speedster fight. To me, I think there's an overall look at the MCU because of the highs that the MCU had with the likes of Infinity War and Endgame. If it doesn't reach that level, it's a bad film. It's not. The only ones that I would go, right, that's close to being bad, is Quantumania, which, again, I'm just like, I probably wouldn't ever really watch that. And Thor Love and Thunder, just because of the tone of that film, seems to veer off in this. Like, I like Love and Thunder. I think it's fine. There's a lot of it's my humor. The screaming goats is what I find I find that shit funny. I don't know why, but I do. To me, it's not bad when you've got films, especially in the superhero genre, where you've got films like Craven and stuff like that, where, like, not remember we seen Craven together, did we not?
I didn't see it, no, but
see the bit where the rhino, literally, mate, Paul, I'm not joking, right? I'm going to try and find you the clip and I'll send you it. The rhino guy, he's not even in rhino form, just turns around and just goes, ah, and it's never addressed again. He just makes a noise. It's like the most fucking ADHD autistic tick that a character's ever had, and then they never ever address it again.
When the character's not actually those things as well, it was just insulting to those people.
Yeah, it was just so bad. Exactly, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, is like, when people say these films are bad, and again, even when I ask a fucking example of what's bad, you'd Steph on Twitter giving me fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not a bad film. Enjoy the nostalgia, enjoy the hits for what we get. And then you say Eternals. Now, Eternals is, people love, people hate it. I don't see the issue with Eternals. But to get back to Doomsday,
yeah,
I feel as if... Yeah? When you go.
Just to kind of bring you back to where you were, here's my point. So, Andrew, you were talking about the fact there's been all this content, all this influx of IPs and stuff that's happened between the two Avengers films that we've had, or what we're going to be getting. So, by that logic, do you think that the majority of Marvel fans are going to be on Doctor Doom's side? Because he's trying to condense it all into one world and make it all nice and simple.
Probably.
That'll put me on.
Probably.
I'll be on his side anyway, yeah. Let's just destroy this multiverse nonsense once and for all, please.
That's the one thing I will say. I feel as if the multiverse thing, again, but people need to take into the other circumstances as well, right? So during this, right, there was changes in the leadership above Kevin Feige, and they were just like, we just want quantity, just fucking fill Disney Plus. Whereas now it seems as if that's changed to quality over quantity. We had COVID in between all this. We had 2 writer strikes in between all this. So there's a lot of stuff that again, even the controversy with Jonathan Majors, that's your big bad guy, then this happened, so you now need to pivot and do something else. So there has been a lot of stuff that's going against the MCU while they're doing this. If you consider how many attempts the DC universe have made at trying to start a universe and not being able to do it, and then starting one and not being able to do it, and even now, I'm still hearing mixed things about Superman, which terrifies me, because I feel as if that doesn't work, then what are we, like, it needs to be good. It can't just be okay, because that's your first film, that's your Iron Man, essentially, for what the DCU is going to be.
There's a super dog in it, so you know my feelings on it.
Yeah, I know you're.
Don't
you're
you
not a fan of
insult crypto.
There
Don't
is
you
a
ever
super-
insult crypto.
There's a super dog wearing a cape. That's
Oh.
that sounds like eternal shit, So I'm like,
it. Don't
let's
No.
don't fucking dare Eternal
Crypto
shit.
is
Eternals is
crypto.
or
Crypto's a great
or the
character.
Marvels. It sounds a bit like that.
I will say I haven't rewatched the Marvels. I am currently rewatching through the stuff. I feel as if that might be a bad one. I'll need
There
to
you
rewatch
go.
it.
There you
Again,
go.
I've not, but again, I'm holding my hands up. I've only seen it once in the cinema. So that kind
Sanity.
of tells me as well that I didn't rewatch
Sanity
it.
eventually prevails.
I feel as if
You can't shill your way out of this one.
Captain America might end up being a bad film as well when I rewatch it.
Captain
might be a
America:
bad
Brave New
film.
World is a bad film. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's a
that
bad
might
film.
be it.
Yeah.
These last couple might have scuppered my argument, but I feel as if I could still put an argument forward for it. Right. Is there any more things about Doomsday you want to talk about before we wrap things up?
I have seen a meme regarding Doomsday, and this is partly my, I guess, concern with the film, is that the meme went something like this. Went, so will there be any plot? Because no, but we've got lots of nostalgia. Okay.
I feel as if that could be more of an argument for Deadpool Wolverine, which again I didn't mind the nostalgia.
Yeah, no, that's true. That was a problem.
I think I think they will use characters that will evoke nostalgia, but I think the plot, the fact that the Russo brothers have already kind of said as well that Iron Man's death has a direct effect on RDJ's Doom. I'm kind of like, oh, I'm so intrigued how you write that. I'm so intrigued how you tell that story and how that gets involved and stuff like that. I was already excited for Doomsday, but when you start seeing these names, and again, even like the fun names of like Alan Cumming coming back as Nightcrawler and stuff like that, you never know what you might get. We might get that fucking Tom Cruise Iron Man variant. You don't know what we're going to get in Doomsday. But the thing that excites me more is the good press that Fantastic Four seems to be getting. I'm like, good. Let's course correct, and then going forward, it'll be the Mutant Saga, which I'll be super excited for.
Me
So,
too.
yeah, I'm
Can't wait.
I am buzzing. I'm buzzing for this. Again, it's next year apparently. So if we're supposed to be getting a Spider-Man and Doomsday next year, you
Big
can
year.
fight me for both. Fight me for both of the films next year when we do the movie draft. Because
You're
I'll be
only
wanting them both.
You're only getting one.
No. Oh no, that's the worst it now because there's 4 years. I'm definitely not. But I could see if it was just Craig and Joseph. I feel as if I could dodge that enough that I could get both. But fuck. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you excited about Doomsday? Is there any characters that you are most excited that they're bringing back, or is there any characters that you feel as if why have you not announced them? You better announce them when they come. So this is a new wee section. We're going to call it the film roundup, or we're going to call it what we've seen. We are going to tell you what movies we have seen this past month in the cinema and what ones we recommend to you. So who wants to start things off? You guys went to the cinema yesterday. What
Oh
did you
yes.
see?
Oh well, we saw two, but what the first film we saw was Snow White. Disney's Snow White. The Disney logo showed up, and I'll admit, I did boo. I did boo audibly.
He did boo.
In the cinema.
He did.
He did. It can be confirmed.
I would ask how the people reacted, but I feel as if it might have just been you two that were in the cinema.
There was about no. That's a horrible claim to make, Andrew. There was at least 3 other people there.
Nice.
At least.
Bums in seats.
Yep.
So, how to describe Snow White? Well, they kind of butcher the original story.
Nice.
There is no prince, but there is a actor / bandit person.
Nice.
So that's something, I guess. Gal Gadot is there.
I've heard not great things about Gal Gadot in this film.
Gal Gadot is speaking the lines she was given loudly, with some and Rachel Ziegler is there.
No, I disagree with that.
Singing.
I disagree with that.
Singing songs that would not be amiss in any modern Broadway show. That is to say, they all sound the same. But not particularly stand out to me. But the main event are the dwarfs. Now, I wanted to go into Snow White with like a barf bag, just in case. I would like to amend that. So I was going to say go in with a barf bag just in case. But after having watched the film, I actually wish I had gone into the screen with sandpaper for my eyes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because these creatures are hard to look at, and they stay. It's like a bad after. They stay in your eyes somehow afterwards, and it's very harsh, very harsh.
I'm gonna have
what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is 10 out of 10 from Paul.
Perfection.
10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
I would have to say it's definitely a hard 2 or 3 from me.
That's bad.
And that's a generous. And only go and see this if you intend to hate watch it. Is my problem. Yeah.
I would I'm slightly very slightly more favourable in the film than Paul was. I think I saw some decent elements in there. I actually quite liked some of the songs. I actually really enjoyed some of the songs. I thought Rachel Ziegler was absolutely fine. I thought she did a good job. She's got a great voice, as we know from West Side Story. I think she suited the character fairly well. I actually didn't mind what they tried to do with the whole thing, but I don't think it was executed well at all. I like what they were attempting, but it needed to be executed a lot better. As Paul says, the dwarf CGI was nightmarish. I am still thinking about how horrible Dopey was in terms of like scary to look at. I genuinely I think I'm going to think about that for a long time, about how much that unsettled me. Like, oh my god. So yeah, I think that was a mistake as well on their part, or just they should have put more effort into that aspect of it, the CGI stuff. But yeah, I would agree with Paul in terms of I think a 2, possibly a 3 out of 10 is my rating for that.
Just so you know how our scale works, a 3 is bad and 2 is shite.
I'm going to say 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going
to say 3.
So you say bad,
Yeah.
Paul?
Oh, I'll go 2. Sure.
Shite.
Yeah.
Cool, fair enough. So that's a swift pass then. Don't recommend that people go see that, spend their money on it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Fair enough. I'll come in next then. So the other film that I've seen this month, I seen Black Bag.
Yes.
It is the Michael Fassbender movie. Who else is in it? You've got Renee Page. What's his name? I literally just said it the other day. Not the other day, like 2 seconds ago. Renee Jean Page. You've got Kate Blanchett, Gustav Skarsgård, Naomi Harris. It's utterly fantastic. It might be my film of the year so far.
I agreed.
It is 90 minutes. It is 90 minutes long.
Wow.
Which to me goes, oh my god, you can make a film in an hour and a half, and it is so enjoyable, and it's done. And there's enough plot in it where I feel satisfied with the story that they wanted to tell. There was no bloat. There was nothing that needed cut out. The performances were great. It's a proper old school spy thriller. There's drama in it. There's romance in it. There's twists. There's turns. It's such a good movie that I was I was gutted when it was finished. But I was also so pleasantly surprised that like an hour and a half, it flew by. I would 100% recommend everybody goes out and watches this film, because there's a big thing as well, especially again, we've talked about me being a Marvel show, and we've talked about like remakes, and we've said make something new. When new films come out like this that are their own thing, people need to go and watch them in the cinema, otherwise they'll stop making them, and you're going to get fucking Snow White remakes and Lion King remakes, and you're just going to get all these IP films that are just pushed out. This is a genuinely great film. Like, to me, I'm going, let me look at my scale. To me, I'm going, this is a 9. It's incredible. It's a great film. It's so fucking enjoyable. Performances are there. The stories are there. And it's like this proper, as I say, like spy thriller movie. It's brilliant. Go see it.
Yeah.
If you have time and you're looking at what film to see in the cinema, Black Bag is the one that you should go see.
I couldn't agree more.
And I'm devastated. I am devastated how good it is, because he picked it and I counter picked it, and that's like a 60-point swing.
Oh,
97% on
and
Rotten
Tomatoes. And by he means the reigning champion, Craig Andrew Mooney, that is doing it. Quite
Asterix champion.
Won't be Asterix this year. When I win this year, it's not going to be Asterix, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah,
I've got a feeling Paul's going to win.
Oh, don't even say that. I couldn't handle that. But yeah, Black Bag, yeah, I've seen it as well. It is, as Andrew said, fantastic. I was so surprised at how good it was, actually, and how much I enjoyed it. I think I gradually sat further and further forward in my seat as the film went on. I just got more and more into it. The performances are great. The cast is stacked. I mean, every single actor in it is fantastic. There's a younger actress in it as well, who I apologize, I don't know the name of, but she was also great. Like, they had Athos from the Musketeers in it as well. He was great too. I just thought it was so pleasantly surprisingly good, and and it just, like, it goes to show again, you can make something that I imagine relatively to, you know, the bigger budget stuff. This is probably quite a low budget film, and I imagine this film has done very, very well, both critically and in the box office, because, like, people will be saying how good it is, and the cast is there to help, you know, get bums on seats. You can make these films, and they are great, and that's a big testament to what cinema could still be. And I agree with Andrew. 9 out of 10. Definitely go and see it. Go and see it.
I think the thing for me as well is just it's such a small, intimate cast. So its budget's between 50 and 60 million.
Yeah.
It's going to make that. It's going to make that. Although I don't know how box office is actually doing. But yeah, if you are going to the cinema, to me, this would be the one I recommend you go see. It's only made 27.5 million. Go see this film so they make more films like it, man. That's pish.
That's annoying. That's annoying.
So there's one more. I think, is it one more film we're going to talk about?
Novocaine.
Oh, yes. Novocaine.
Yeah, I have not seen this yet, but I would be interested to see how close you guys get it to recommending it over Black Bag.
My only real critique of Novocaine is its distinct lack of Michael Caine. So there is no Michael Caine, but there is lots of Novocaine.
Why do you sound like you're in The Sopranos?
Hey, where's Michael Caine? Hey. Basically, Novocaine. I have not seen Black Bag, but I would like to, and I'm gonna for once trust that your recommendation is just and true and that how good it is. So, but Novocaine.
I don't recommend bad things.
Exactly.
Is I mean I've been burnt before, but the film, I would liken it a bit to, if anyone has seen Renfield or Violent Night. It is somewhat similar in tone to those kinds of films. It's funny, but also gory and violent. Lots of really cool fight scenes. They take the gimmick of the whole movie is he can't feel pain, and they take that gimmick to quite a ridiculous degree, which is it's good that they do that. Various like, basically, when I think about it, every major fight scene in the film has something like gross involved in it, and it really makes it stand out. By the end of the movie, he's a bloody mess, you know. But it's really entertaining, really quite funny, action packed, enjoyable. I really liked it.
What's your rating?
Possibly, I would give it maybe an 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe give it
an 8.
I think it's probably going to be one of the surprises of the year. I think in the same way, as Paul said, like, it's very much for me the same way that I felt about Violent Night, where I went in not really expecting much, but then was just like so taken aback with how much I enjoyed it. For kind of similar reasons, it's funny, it's violent, it's, you know, it's just a good time. It's a good popcorn film. Nice. What is 7 and what's 8, Andrew, on the scale?
So 7 is great, 8 is amazing, 9 is incredible.
I'm going to give it a 7, but a high recommendation.
A high 7.
Recommend
7,
it. Definitely recommend going and see it.
I could get behind
Craig,
that. High 7.
Craig, you're the only one that's seen all 3. What would you say is the one? If you can only see one, what would you go see?
Black Bag. Black Bag.
Well, there you go. That is the With Mates recommendation for the month of March. Get yourself to the cinema. Well, technically, we'll be into April now. Get yourself to the cinema and get to see Black Bag.
Get yourself that bag, as the kids say.
That is all for this week. Make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are going to aim for. Let's give us a name. What number do we want to hit by the end of April for subscribers?
1 million.
Let's be realistic,
50.
Paul.
50.
50. No. Right. Let's again. I was going to go with the still game quote. Let's try and find this difference between socks and a hooker. Let's go for 100. That's a nice round number. I think we're already at a decent number. Let's aim for 100 subscribers. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking and commenting. Get involved in the conversation. Are you like Paul? Are you like Steph? Are you like Joseph? Are you a hater of the MCU? Do you think there's been a bad MCU film? Let me know, and I will happily argue in the comments about why you are wrong. If you are like me and just a big old Marvel shell and you love everything about Marvel, hell, look at my Uday, look at my fucking keyboard, it's everywhere to be seen. Let us know if you're excited for Doomsday. Let us know if you're excited for Secret Wars. Do you think, here's a question for you guys, but also for the audience, right? Last question on it. Do you think we get the scene of Doom ripping out Thanos' skeleton? Skeleton. That's what I want you to tell me in the comment section.
I think so.
And I think that would be epic. But that's all for this week. We will be back next week with more catch up and more reviews. We've got our Daredevil review is up just now on YouTube, audio and video. We've got all that good stuff as well as on Spotify and Apple. So make sure you're joining us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all the social media channels at WithMatesPod. Craig, where can the lovely people find you and all that you do?
The lovely people can find me on all social media platforms. It's at Craig Andrew Mooney.
Polly Smack.
You can find me on Instagram when I am not campaigning for Cyclops to acknowledge Sonic the Hedgehog. At Instagram, at Stir Story. Which, yes, we will get Cyclops to acknowledge Sonic. That will be my goal for Doomsday. I don't care about anything else about the plot. I want Cyclops to acknowledge that blue hedgehog.
Do you know how sad it will be when if and when it does happen and I'm in the cinema and you're there with me, Paul, I'll literally turn around and go, oh, Paul, that happened! Oh,
You did it, Paul!
He did the
thing! If you want to follow me, I'm at Alf the Grey on all social media platforms, but more importantly, make sure you're following the podcast at WithMatesPod. That's all for this week. We'll see you next time. Let's on a BG.
Gotta go fast, blast. That's gonna be what they're gonna say. Gotta go fast, blast. Because gotta go fast is like a Sonic thing. Gotta go fast, blast.